Assalamu alaikum students and welcome to the new topic text and its types. It is very important lecture for all the students of language as well as literature and of all levels like intermediate, BS and many others. Because it is very important for the students to understand the word text, its definition, its types, and then they will be able to answer all the questions set by the examiners. First, we will define text. A book or other written or printed work regarded in terms of its content rather than its physical form is considered text. Students, these 5 points will help you a lot in understanding about the word text, and you may say that these points are five different ideas, five different definitions related to the word text. So I'm repeating: a book or other written or printed work regarded in terms of its content rather than its physical form is considered text. We are not concerned here with book or only the printed or written work in its physical form, but we are concerned here with the content of the material which has been presented by the writer in the form of book and a written or printed work. What is the content of that work? That is the main concern of us being readers. Number 2 point is the main body of a book or other piece of writing as distinct from other material such as notes, appendices, and illustrations. All these things are called text. Third is very crucial point. A text is a passage of words that conveys a set of meanings to the person who is reading it. Who is reading it? The reader. A text is a passage of words that conveys a set of meanings to the person who is reading it or to the reader. Usually, the word text refers to a written or typed document. You may say generally we people can refer towards any written document, any typed document, any written material as a text. In terms of a rhetorical situation, however, text means any form of communication that humans create. Keep this thing in your mind that a writer, while creating a sort of text, he is communicating with the audience, the readers, the listeners. So we can say whenever humans engage in any act of communication, a text serves as the source for communication. So here you have not got only the definition of text, but you have also got the main purpose of the text. What is the main purpose? The main purpose of a text is to serve as the source for communication, to be as the source for communication. Now we will see text through theoretical point of view. In literary theory, a text is any object that can be read. Any sort of object which can be read by the persons is called text. This object can be a work of literature like fiction or non-fiction, novel, drama, poetry, and documentaries, descriptive text, news articles, reports, um, and all sorts of editorials and all sorts of works which are the part of literature. They are called text. Any street sign, number of street, name of street, like many streets are named on the persons, famous persons, and arrangement of buildings on a city block like block A, B, and C, or 2Z, and then block 1, 2, 3. All these are read as a text. Or styles of clothing. Styles of clothing, brands names, as well as the style which are being introduced and their description. So, literary theory describes the word text as any object that can be read. Text is a coherent set of signs that transmits some kind of informative text. Any sign is always there in any language which conveys some sort of information, which conveys some sort of informative message to the readers. Here the word tape, it stands for different segments, and I'll guide you in a sense that whenever you first encounter any text, there are number of questions which come to your mind and you need to ask, sometimes yourself, sometimes your teachers, sometimes your seniors, and all these people are always there to guide you about uh, the questions which are coming to your mind whenever you start reading any text. So the word tape stands for T for text. First alphabet is T. It's for text type, not for text, but it's for the type of the text. What kind of text is it? Now, here you are concerned with kind, whether it is a fiction text or non fiction text, whether it is a news article, it is an editorial, it is a sort of documentary, it is report, or it is poem or letter or postcard, whatever it is. Then A. Alphabet A stands for aim of the text. Here we are not concerned with the aim of the writer, but whom is it aimed at? Whom the writer has taken to be pointed out, what he wanted to say about that particular genre, that particular person, that particular thing, or that particular idea. Then alphabet P, purpose of the text. What is its purpose? Here we are concerned with the motive or the purpose of the writer, whether he wants to rectify some evil from the society, whether he wants to give us some instruction to take ourselves back or takes ourselves from away from that evil, or he wants to eradicate something completely from the society, or he just want to highlight the idea as he was unable to talk to the people directly, so he needed to get a support of the text. So his purpose was only just to give the expression of that particular problem which was surviving in society, or which was present in society. Last alphabet is E. It means effect, effect of the text. Every text has a sort of effect on the minds of the readers. What effect does it have on audience, on others, on readers? Others means other than the writer. Writer has some sort of idea in his mind which he wanted to present just to affect the readers. I'm talking about effect now. And then we will say that that text will have some sort of effect. It is of two types, two major types, emotional and rational. While reading that text, you may get angry that you didn't want to have that idea which the writer has presented. You didn't want to read it about. And then you feel some sort of pity for the hero, for the main character, for a minor character from which he was suffering any calamity, catastrophe, or predicament of human life is being presented by the writer to incite some emotions in readers. Then fear, some sort of horrible situation or horror is presented by the writer, and the audience or the readers or the others are getting fearful about that particular text. The other kind is rational. It means making the reader better informed. Rationally, the writer has presented the idea just to incite you about thinking and the idea, whether that idea is valid or not. You may also say that the writer wanted to start brainstorming by giving the hint, by giving some idea. So the word tape stands for text type, aim of the text, purpose of the text, and effect of the text on the readers. And this is the basic idea. This is the basic word. These are the basic questions which comes to your mind whenever you start reading any text. And then you will classify that text, that it is novel, it is short story, it is novella, or it is a drama, or it is poetry, or it is non-fiction like documentary or newspaper article, or whatever it is. Now we are concerned with text types. Students, there are two main types of text. fiction and non-fiction. In this lecture, we will talk about non-fiction texts, and in our next lecture, we will only talk about fiction. So, type of non-fiction text. There are different types of non-fiction text. For example, recount, information, explanation, instruction, persuasion, and argument. First, recount. And in this slide, you will only get the hint and idea as well as dictionary meaning, a direct meaning of the word recount. To tell someone about something or to give an account of an event or experience, it is called recount. When you are telling someone about something, it means that thing has happened before in your life. And when you are giving an account of an event or experience, it means you have been experienced of that particular event or experience. Now you are telling it. It means you are recounting. You are memorizing that particular incident and you are sharing that incident with other people or your friends. Recount is an act or instance of giving an account of an event or experience. It also means to describe how something happened or to tell a story. For example, he recounted his adventures which he experienced in 2020. You may write down any other sentence of your own choice. That was only for your guideline. There are different synonyms for the word recount in dictionary. For example, describe, tell, narrate, chronicle, report, recite, set forth, and many others are present over there which can replace the word recount. So now, what recount text is? The recount text type retells an experience or an event that happened in the past. In your childhood, something happened to you, whether it was good or bad, you have still that particular thing in your mind, and you can explain it, you can tell it to others in your adulthood. So that was the idea of past, event of past, and you are going to narrate it or you are going to share it now when you are a young boy. The purpose of a recount is to inform, entertain, and evaluate. Sometimes the idea is very good and it is full of information as well as guideline. So that recount text will inform other people about that particular thing. Sometimes the purpose is to entertain the readers, to entertain the audience. That would be some sort of funny or some sort of comic idea, or you may say that a light topic or light idea is being handled by the writer or the person who is going to narrate it. Then evaluate some sort of idea which has been presented by you or by the writer, and you are going to evaluate it by giving some logic. A recount can focus on a specific section of an event or retell the entire story. Sometimes recount text is only telling some specific section of a story, some specific section of an action, and sometimes it is based on the complete story from A to Z, from beginning to end. You are going to tell that particular incident as well as event to your narrators, to your listeners. Sorry. Uh, Examples of recount text are like diaries, that if you are used to write diary, you will write it in the end of the day, that you will write the date and time of action, different action in a sequence which you have come across throughout your day. And then account of school trip or any historical event that you have experienced of, and now you are going to write it out. That will also be sort of recount text. Then letters and postcards, newspaper articles, and retelling well-known stories. Sometimes you have heard only one story and you want to share it with your friends, your class fellows, your family members, and the story is well known and you are very much interested in retelling that story. That will also be the part of recount text. There are three main steps to compose a recount text. start with an orientation. It means that you have to give a good sort of introduction of that particular topic which you want to tell. It means that that thing which was related to some part, the particular event, the particular idea which related to past, whether it was a day before, and now you have to tell it to others. So the introduction must be strong. It must be based on good information, good sort of sentences must be created by you, just to incite other people, just to make this thing interesting for the people. Then sequence of the events, different events definitely will be handled by your being a writer. So if a sequence, proper sequence is followed, that would be very interesting. Means that you are going to give chronological order. First event will come at first place, second at second, third at third, and so on. And sometimes you are going to follow non chronological order, that you will start from the third event, then the first, and then last event, and then the middle. It's up to you. That will be based on some stream of consciousness technique. And the final point is conclusion. Definitely the thing which you have started in the beginning, which you have started, and that must be concluded in a good end. And it is apt for the writers as well as for the persons or the speakers who are telling the story to other people. They must conclude it, and the conclusion must be logical. But in modern and postmodern literature, mostly the recount or the other text are left in the end, just for the readers to speculate about the end, just to think about the end. Not all the modern and postmodern texts I'm talking about, but specific modern and postmodern texts are always leaving the conclusion for readers. Next point is information. Information means facts provided or learnt about something or someone. What is conveyed or represented by a particular arrangement or sequence of things is called information. Informational text is non-fiction writing written with the intention of informing the reader about a specific topic. Any topic which the writer has taken into his mind, which the writer has thought it over, and he wants to write it about. So he has to get information or gather information about that particular writing, and then his information must be logical. It is typically found in magazines, science or history books, autobiographies, and instruction manuals. Mostly, the magazines are based on information about every industry, every institution, like educational institutions, armed forces, disciplinary forces, ministries, politics, you may say religion, and many other things. Even entertainment industry. Then science or history books are always filled with information. Lots of information is being conveyed to the reader with the help of scientific books or history books. Autobiographies and instruction manuals are also the sort of or the example of good informative text. An informational text structure is the way that the author has organized the main body of the text. In this slide, you will get the information about structure. How can an informational text be formed? And there are 5 points: sequence, problem and solution, description, compare and contrast, cause and effect. It's up to the writer, up to the person, which idea he wants to adopt. For example, if you want to compose your informational text in the form of sequence, as I told you before, that you have to find the proper sequence, like event 1, 2, and 3, and then the last one, and it will be called as chronological order, and then non-chronological order, that you will go opposite to this direction, that you may start from any event, and then from middle, and then beginning, and then middle, and then end. Sometimes informational text is based on problem as well as solution. It is related to the problem which the society is suffering from, or there are some many other problems which are generating with the help of that major problem. You may write about any problem like drug addiction, like abuses of science, like the disadvantages of using internet or cell phone addiction, or many other things like corruption, unemployment in society. And then you will give solution of all these problems. Definitely the problem will be based on some facts and figures, why and how that problem came into being. Then the solution, that this can be done in this regard to eradicate that problem. Informational text can also be descriptive in its form, that you may write it in the form of an essay, and essay will be started with the topic sentence, that your topic, after selecting your topic you will write some topic sentence which will convey information directly to the readers about the topic which you are going to handle. Then supporting sentences and further supporting sentences, and then paragraphing, and finally conclusion. Compare and contrast is also one of the best activities to compose informational text. We may say that sometimes mostly topics have been handled by the earlier writers, and even we also want to talk about that topic. So, we will get help in the form of compare and contrast. We will compare our idea with the earlier ideas, and then we will present the solution. Cause and effect. There are different causes of different problems, and these problems are going to have some sort of effect on the readers, on the listeners, rational or emotional. So informational text can also be based on cause and effect. Explanation. A statement or account that makes something clear is called explanation. A reason or justification given for an action or belief is also called explanation. You may say the details or other information that someone gives to make something clear or easy to understand is called explanation. This activity is very important because you are clarifying something which related to some belief or some idea. There are different synonyms in dictionary for this word: elucidate, explicate, expound, and interpret. What is an explanation text? Explanation texts are pieces of writing that explain something. They might tell you how or why something happens, or give information on how to do something. Explanatory text is always there to guide you about doing something. Examples are information books or leaflets or recipes. There are three main types of explanation text. Number one is causal, number two is sequential, and cyclical. Causal, relating or acting as a cause, meaning that you are talking about only the cause of anything, of any factor in society. Sequential, forming or following in a logical order or sequence, as we may say chronological order, like 1, 2, and 3, or A, B, C, or first, second, and third. That would be logical order. And then cyclical, occurring in cycles or recurrent. Time and again, it is going to appear in society. That will also be the part of or the structure of explanation text. Now, instruction. It is direction or order. This word stands for direction as well as order. A detailed information about how something should be done or operated is called instruction. An instruction text is a piece of non fiction text that gives instructions on how to complete a task. You may say that your teacher are all the time giving you instructions about filling or fulfilling any sort of task or any responsibility, meaning every lecture is based on some guideline, some direction, some instruction. In the same way, every institution in our society, in the whole world, every institution is running with the help of the directions as well as instructions of the head. And head is also getting instruction from the another head and the supreme head. This is basically the cycle which is going to be repeated throughout the world. It may be called as instructive text whenever you are going to text which is based on compose a text which is based on some sort of direction or instruction, so you will call it as instructive text. It may include organizational devices like bullet points, uh, or like bullets, points, or numbers, diagrams, and pictures. Bullet or points or numbers help readers to understand the different points. In the same way, diagrams and pictures also convey the proper information which the book is talking about, which the teacher is talking about. And with the help of that diagram and picture, you will be able to understand the whole scenario, the whole information. There are different types of instruction text. For example, textbooks, because textbooks are based on some syllabus books are also the part of textbooks. And in another sense, you may say that every non-fiction and fiction books are based on textbook, that the original text which has been composed by the writer, that is presented in the form of book for the readers. Then manuals, different sort of manuals, short or longer or the larger ones, or as well as the pamphlets as well as leaflets. All these things are called instruction text. Then guides and narratives. Guides which are presented in the form of pamphlet in restaurants, in hotels, in academic institutions, any other institution, or travel brochures, and just to convey you the proper direct information in a short form. Then reading scheme text, these are the syllabus books, and then helping books as well as reference books are called reading scheme text. So all these things are the part are the types of instruction text or instructive text. Now persuasion, the action or process of persuading someone of or of being persuaded to do or believe something is called persuasion, meaning you are convincing someone or some person or your reader to do something or to believe in something. It is a belief or set of beliefs, especially religious or political ones, that you have to present some policy in the form of politics or education as well as religion. A persuasive text is any text where the main purpose is to present a point of view and seeks to persuade a reader, just to convince the reader in the form of good logic, in the form of convincing points. A persuasive text can be an argument, exposition, discussion, review, or an advertisement. A persuasive text is a form of non fiction writing that aims to convince the reader of a certain point of view. Now, the last point is argument. An exchange of diverging or opposite views, typically a heated or angry one, is called argument. A reason or set of reasons given in support of an idea, action, or theory is called argument. There are different synonyms for argument in dictionary, and some are written over here like wrangle, bickering, discord, and dissension. We may put a question to understand argument. What is an argument text? The answer is an argument text is a text where the writer is either for or against an issue or subject, or presents the case for both sides. Argument text is based on one idea, like for that you are talking about some idea and you are completely in favor of that idea, and the other part is that you are introducing some idea and you are completely against that idea. And sometimes you are presenting one idea, but you are giving its both sides to the readers. You are writing some comments in favor of that idea and some comments in against of that idea, and afterwards you leave that particular conclusion for the readers to write down according to their own mentality, according to their own thoughts. Now, the structure of argument text or argumentative text. First point is thesis statement. This is your statement, this is your idea which you are going to present. It clearly identifies the topic being discussed and includes the points discussed in paper, which is written for specific audience or readers. Paper means any research paper, any article, any thesis, any idea, any theory, which any hypothesis which you are going to present for your readers. It must be clear in its intention. It must not at all be ambiguous. So you have to be very specific about writing thesis statement. Then transition between introduction. You may use transitional words or transitional devices because it will increase your point of view, it will increase or intensify your point of view, or it will provide a logical connection between clauses and sentences, and it will make your introduction a literary introduction. And you may use some key points in the end of your introduction just to are abstract, just to make your readers able to understand the idea which was present in your mind. Then body of that argumentative text, meaning you will fill this column, you will write this particular paragraph with the help of facts and figures. You will collect examples, you will get examples from history, from past, from your everyday life, to make your readers able to give them convincing points, and logically you will put your idea, and the readers will admit that this is really a good argument. Then paragraphs that provide evidence supporting the argument which you have taken into consideration, which you have presented in front of the readers. Now you have to give different paragraphs which will be based on some evidences, which will be based on some facts and figures. So paragraph 1, 2, or 3, or many more paragraphs can be written in the form of descriptive argumentative text. And finally, there will be a good conclusion, an apt conclusion of the argument which you have started, and now you are going to put it an end. Students, this was all about text and its types. Hopefully, you people have got the clearer idea about text and its types. Thank you very much and good luck.